have you been married before? So I answered, no. But then he turned to my husband and said, how about you? That's right, right? Hello everyone! Today I'm going to share my green card interview. So we had our interview May 14, 2021 at 2 p.m. in downtown here in St. Louis, Missouri. So we arrived at 1:30, but we got in around 1:45. The reason why, because in the letter it says that we are not allowed to get in 15 minutes before that because of the COVID issues. So we make sure that the time is enough to go up and be there outside the door 1:45 before our interview. As we arrive, there is one person outside that told my husband to drop the notice or schedule of interview appointment notice in the blue box located at the side of the door. At 2:20, the immigration officer opened the door and asked me and my husband to get in. And while walking, he asked the number one question. Did you bring your phone? That's the first question. The immigration asked me if I bring my phone. And I was shocked because that time our phone is in the car. So we leave our phone in the car to make sure that there is no interruption, there is no ringing of phones during interview. So he asked me if I bring my phone. So I said, no, are we allowed to bring our phones? Because our phone's just in the car. And if you want, we can get it for you. But then the immigration officer replied, no, it's okay, you don't have to. So we continued walking, and when we're in the room, the immigration officer asked me and my husband to sit down. Then I put down all of my belongings, and the immigration officer asked me and my husband again to stand up and to raise our right hand to swear to tell the truth. So after we raise our hands, the immigration officer asked me and my husband to sit down, and he asked the number two question. So number two question, can I have your I-963 medical examination and vaccination record? So I didn't have the real copy of it because I already sent it together with my I-485. If you watch my first vlog about tips on how to speed up your green card application, you will find out that my first tips is to send your I-693 together with I-485. So when the immigration officer asked me about my medical, I handed him a copy of my medical examination and vaccination record. I told him that I have a copy of my I-693 or medical examination and vaccination record because the original or the sealed envelope, I sent it together with my I-485. So the number three question, the immigration officer asked me, can I have your birth certificate? I handed my birth certificate to the immigration officer, and then he proceeded to the number four question, wherein he didn't ask me but he asked my husband. He asked my husband the number four question. Where did you meet? And it happened that my husband was a bit tense and stumbled that I'm helping him answering the question. After question, how did you meet? That's the number 4. The immigration officer look at the form and ask me questions in the form. So number 5 question is, what is your name? And everybody can answer that. Don't tell me that you forget what is your name. So yeah, that's the number 5 question. Number 6, your birthday. Number 7, your address. So the immigration asked me my address here, and my mouth is just keep on popping very fast answering those questions. I give him the address and also the zip code, so I answered it completely to make it like short. Because if you answered him only like, oh, I live in this, then maybe he will, this following question like, do you know the zip code, or do you know the district, or so that's it. I make sure that I answered the question completely. So when I said, what is your address? It's included with the zip code. The number 8 question is, when is your last arrival here in US? So I answered the immigration like my last arrival here in US was July 12th, 2019, but I was in New York year 2016. I want to give an information to the immigration that I know what I am doing. I am open, that everything you know about me is that I am willing to give you the information. So I always answered the question complete. So when he asked me, when is your last arrival here in US, I answered that was July 12, 2019, but I was in New York year 2016. Number 9 question. The immigration officer asked, have you been married before? So I answered no. But then he turned to my husband and said, how about you? That's right? My husband replied yes. So I feel like the immigration officer is actually focusing on my husband and not with me, because the next question is, do you have children? I said no. So he asked my husband again, how about you? And then my husband said, yes, I have 3 children. And the immigration asked my husband, when did you get divorced? What is the reason of divorce? So when the immigration asked my husband about that information, I am just quiet. So I don't say anything. I'm just listening to both of them, because like it's out of me to answer that questions, because it is for my husband and not for me. So that is the number 10 question. Do you have children? Okay, so let's go to number 11 question. What is your current address? That's the number 11. The number 12 question, are you working? That's the number 12. Number 13, what is your last job? That's the number 13. Number 14, what is your parents' name? Your mom's maiden's name and your father's name. Number 15 is all about general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds. So he asked a lot of questions, but I know that not all, I think, because he asked the questions very fast. Very fast that, he asked like this. Have you ever been denied admission to the United States? Have you ever been denied to the visa of the United States? Have you ever been working in the United States without authorization? Have you ever been violated the terms and conditions of your immigrant status? Have you presently... So he asked very, very fast. I feel like the immigration wants us to go home. Seriously. Because I didn't tell him that during my biometrics, I was informed that I'm going to get my green card. So I'm just quiet. But since he knows already, because he looked at on the computer and the monitor, I feel like he just keep on asking questions and asking questions. And sometimes me myself admit that sometimes I don't hear him. I just say like, no sir, no sir. Number 16, he asked for my telephone number. He was asking questions about the eligibility and inadmissibility grounds very fast. I barely can hear him. That I answered him, no sir. So he asked again like, your number? And I said like 314, you know, that. So after the telephone number that is number 16, he asked me the number 17 question. So the number 17 is he asked me to sign the paper because he said like we're done. So he asked me to sign a small paper, and after he asked me to sign the paper, he asked for the photocopy of my passport. So he asked for my passport, that I gave it to him. He made a copy of it and asked me and my husband to, you know, to go out, and we were there waiting for my passport. That is just about only a minute, and then he asked me and my husband if you have any question. That is the number 19, the closing question. Do you have any question? So my husband and me answered like, no, we don't have any question. So me and my husband, we are very confident. We had fun, and my husband, you know, no more stress on him. I could see him that he is happy. I could see him that there's no more anxiety in him, and that we have a very great day that time. So the immigration is really nice to us. That's all in our interview question. No nerve-wracking question aside from, you know, the questions about my husband. Is the reason of divorce? When did you get divorced? So I think that's the only sensitive question when he asked what's the reason of divorce. But about me, the illegal immigrant, I can find it like there's nothing wrong of his questions, and it is really easy question. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to be happy. Don't forget to be grateful that your interview, that you receive the interview notice, and that you are going there to prove that the marriage is genuine, and I'm sure you will get your green card. You don't have to think a lot. You don't have to stress out yourself. Green card in a good terms. Just have fun and be happy. So that's all for our interview questions. I wrote it down. It's 19, but if I added the 3 questions that the immigration asked to my husband, do you have children, and when did you get divorced, and what's the reason of divorce? So I should say 21 questions, not included all of the, you know, inadmissibility. But if you are a good girl like me, little girl, good girl, you don't have to worry, because if you don't have the grounds, I'm sure you're gonna go get your green card. Before we went to interview, my husband has a lot of questions in his head that he was telling me that, oh, what if the immigration officer will separate us in another room, and then maybe he will ask me questions, and they will ask question to me also, and then our answer will not match, or our answer is very different. Then what will happen if, you know, they will not give you will not get your green card? What will happen if you they will, you know, deport you? What will happen if? So there's a lot of what if. But don't think about what if. Think about like, I'm going to get it. Because you have to start with positive mind and not the negative mind. Cut off that negativity in you, because once you go there with negative mind, then maybe, you know, you're slouching yourself and you don't have this good vibes in you. So I think that the immigration officer turned the question to my husband because he shows the face is tense and stress. And with me, since you are showing with a happy face and you're answering the questions complete, direct, like straightforward, I don't think so the immigration will ask more questions about me, because even if he is not asking, I am giving it to him. So there's no more further questions about me to just, ask a little bit question from my husband. That's it. So that's all for our interview question. I hope that this vlog can help you, remove the stress in you, and this vlog can give you positive vibes. This vlog can help with you with your feelings and emotions. And I'm cheering with you. You're gonna go get your green card, and you're going to get it. This is Rose talking about my green card interview. Bye-bye!